Hey guys, Spac Daddy Doug here today, and I want to talk about the most recent acquisition that occurred between Velodyne Lidar and GRAF Industries. I had a bunch of you guys send me messages saying, hey, can you do one over GRAF? And I'm going to do it, so we're right here. But first, I want you guys to just subscribe and also like this channel. I'd like to really improve this channel, and every subscription this very moment to get monetized really helps. We need 1,000 subscribers for that to happen. And when that happens, we'll have different types of graphics and hopefully a microphone, and we'll do this a lot better than me just talking right on my cell phone. So let's talk about a little bit Lidar. So Velodyne Lidar is a company, but Lidar is actually a type of product that's existed for some time. So Lidar stands for light detection and ranging. It's a remote sensing method that uses light in the form of pulse laser to measure ranges. So it really came into play in 1961 when satellites were invented. They were basically using it to track satellites in the sky. And then it evolved. I know the Apollo 15, it was used on Apollo 15. They mapped out part of the moon using this technology. I don't think the whole moon, but probably part of it. And it's also used, still currently used in meteorology too. So the technology really consists of a laser, a scanner, and a specialized GPS receiver. Airplanes and helicopters are the most probably active users of this technology right now. What they do is they fly around and they use it to identify topography in the ground. But that has all changed. Velodyne Lidar, the founder of the company, David Hall, really took this technology and brought it to light. So back in 2005, there was a contest and a DARPA Grand Challenge. And he basically invented 3D lidar to give autonomous vehicles like a 360-degree vision. So it was game-changing. And this guy has been a serial inventor. This company apparently has been around since 1983. He started off with subwoofers and I guess pivoted his way all the way to this technology. And they've put so much money into this technology that it seems incredible. And I want to talk about why you probably should buy this company and why I'm actually very interested in it. So I guess we'll start with a little bit about what they're currently using. So they have over a dozen types of different sensors. Products are getting smaller in mass production, and I was looking at their timeline. They started with a product the size of a hockey puck, and now they're getting down to a size of a penny. It's kind of interesting in the areas that they're going to be going into. So when you think of autonomous and everything, you probably think of autonomous driver's assistance system. So if you're driving in a Tesla, and if you've driven one before, it gives you a map of like all the cars and everything that's around you on the road. So they do this type of technology. They're also involved in autonomous vehicles. If you guys have been out in Phoenix at all, you've probably seen them on the road. That's really cool to see. And they have a bunch of projects, but what was really key to me was delivery. They're expecting that to be bigger than advanced driver assistance systems and autonomous vehicles. So last mile delivery. So that's FedEx, UPS, probably Amazon, and maybe your takeout food getting delivered to you in the last mile. So whether that being drone or some type of other device bringing it to your house, really cool. They're also into robotics, shuttles, smart city, and mapping. Really, some interesting things at the company is they're the established market leader. They're actually the only company that specializes specifically in lidar technologies. They have a 70% market share in this area. They are in the first mover category, eclipsing market share the nearest competitor, which I don't think anyone's specifically entirely in this realm, which is good for them. They have 300 plus customers, $570 million in cumulative revenue since their founding in 2010, or so I guess this is when they really started this company. They have strong secular trends, so safety first culture, and they're promoting this. But I'm a believer in this just for the fact that Congress enacted a law basically saying all cars need to have backup cameras. I can see a congressman in 10 years saying, for whatever reason, all cars need this type of technology and it's just to be safe and whatnot. Some congressman with a crazy idea in his head, but there's obviously a lot of money to be made there. And they also have deep defendable competitive moats. So they have a broad portfolio for the uses for this technology. And very important is they have proven manufacturing, which is always a challenge with companies. You want a good supply chain, you want a good manufacturing, and it's already done, and it also protects their margins, which they're claiming is going to be good for the company. Growth. So right now they have sales but they're currently in the red, and that's really just because they've been putting so much money into research, and just it's an upstart, so it costs a lot of money. So they're cash negative, but in 2020, but between now and 2024, they have $800 million in contracts already signed for their technology for ready to go. On top of that, there's also 60% more revenue that can be built on top of that. And in this whole entire industry in the next 4 years, it's going to be $77 billion. So just imagine they have roughly $800 million. That pie is huge. The growth in this area is going to be fantastic. Some more important things about their portfolio is they have 300 customers, 16 awards. Really important, I think, for the intangible asset side, and important for the companies. They have 55 granted and pending patents. And I think that's really key in the sense that, I'm going to get to this a little bit, but they're such a small company that they also, I know this is an acquisition going on, but another player can probably buy them in the future. Nikko, if you know the cameras, and Hyundai are investors. Actually, they helped them out with their manufacturing. They're manufacturing in Japan and Thailand. The company's based out of San Jose, California. Really key. I think some people don't like investing in some countries, different countries. So to talk about the revenue a little bit, and not to really bore you, but in their investor package, they show how much of a value they are against their competitors. So their competitors in this field are actually really crazy companies. So NVIDIA, Linux, Ballard, Plug Power, Nikola, Tesla, Cree, Mexilus. So there's probably over a dozen more. But in their investor package, they show you what their stock price is and how much of a value it is. So just on revenue, 2.29 times their is what you're going to be buying into. Overall median in the industry is 7%. Another metric they use is EBITDA. So I believe in the overall industry, it's about 33.65. They're at 10 times their revenue. So it does seem like to be a pretty good value for the company. A few other things I want to talk about is just the actual stock. So it's going to be the acquisitions occurring in Q3. So right now, between now and September, end of September, I probably expect it happening in August or September. If you're going to buy warrants, just remember that each warrant counts as 3/4 of a warrant. So technically, you would need to buy 4 warrants to equal 3 warrants, since they have to be done in wholes. And I think my personal opinion, as I have speculation in this company, it's in a growth field. I have speculation that they are going to be bought out in the future, just for the sense that they're the leading competitor. The price is pretty cheap that a large player in the field can just snap them right up. And as for the stock price, right after the letter of intent was told, the stock shot up to $24 a share, and it came down roughly 30%. I think right now it's at $19 and change. I would use $24 as the benchmark. Spacs usually don't have much activity. People lose interest, between the letter of intent time and when the actual acquisition occurs. If the stock does rise up to $22, $23 from now, I'd probably buy some shares just because of the momentum of this. If the stock doesn't move, you could probably find a buying time in the next month or so. I would just kind of keep an eye out for when a price gets really cheap. But my personal opinion is I do think the stock will go up substantially after the acquisition does occur. Just being in the industry that it is, who the competitors are, tech is always hot, and I don't have any concerns about this company from everything I've read. Personally, I do own some warrants. I purchased them weeks ago, way before they announced anything with this company. It was ProCycle, who they were previously going to merge with. But I'm just reading all good things, and that's it. So, and if you guys really do like this type of information, please subscribe to the channel. Every single subscription at this point matters. Just for the fact that we want to improve the channel, get some graphics in, maybe get a microphone, and just have a better delivery and experience for both me and you guys, more importantly. 1,000 is our number, and we would like to get to that so we can get monetized. But in the meantime, happy investing, and we'll talk to you.